Hello everyone. So today we'll talk about the drawable resources. There are several things we can do with the drawable, but our today's topic is all about the shape. What we can first of all, I want to show you what we can do with the shape. Okay, so if you just go and look for the drawable resources from the Android guidelines, then you will see that uh, drawable has different part like you can have the bitmap, 9 page, layer list, state list, level list. So some of them are for the drawable things, that means for the images or something like that, and others are for the animations. So I'll talk about all of them, but our first topic is the shape. So what we can do with the shape. So you can see this is a good example what we can do with the shape. You can see right in this section, this is not a rectangle, this is a rectangle that has some sort of radius. So how we can make something like that. So I'm going to show you one by one. So first of all, I'm going to create a drawable resources, and I'm going to name that text shapes. Okay. Oops, my shit. What's the problem? So just like the layout, the default tag is constant layout on the layout section and selector on the drawable section. So as we're going to talk about shapes, I'll select the shape right in here, and there are a lot of shape you'll find. Mainly there four are present in the Android section. So rectangle, line, ring, and oval. So I'll talk about one by one all of them. So first of all, we'll talk about rectangle. So you can see I have just showing the preview, but there's nothing you can see. So for showing that, I need a shape. I need a solid my ability. So I'm gonna give it a very simple color, because I'm taking the color white, and now you can see the shape. But this shape does have uh, the rash corner, so this is not round. So what we can do, we can just add the corners. Okay, then for the same radius for all of the corner, I just have to change the radius. That's all we can do. But if you want to just brown any single corner or two of them, something like that, so what you can do, you can just top left radius. You can see only this shape is rounded. So I hope you understand what we can do with the corner section. So now when we are done with the solid, we are now done with the corner, then I'll talk about the size. If you want a default size for your drawable, then you can just write like width like 100, or for the bottom like 40 dp, and height 40 dp. Yeah, you can do something like that, but in my case I'm not doing that. So I've shown you already, I've showed you how to make a solid, then how to make a corner of them, then the size. Now we'll talk about something different, like uh, okay, just before that I'm gonna show you the stroke. So what you can do with the stroke, so you can see right in here, first of all we need to define the stroke width. So I'm going to say that. I hope you understand what is the stroke is the thing. Then we need to give it a color, so I'll say that color accent, and you can see I can see the stroke just around the corners. So now there is some other things we can do with the stroke, like we can add the dash width, dash gap. First of all I'm gonna say okay, dash gap. Okay, okay, just get 5 right in here, and dash width, I'm gonna say 10. Yep. And you can see this is showing like a 10. Yeah, so I know this is not that much important, but I'm just showing you that you can do something like that by using the stroke. Stroke has a very good power, and they have very good uses also. In this video on the last period, I'll talk about stroke when we will talk about ring or line shape instead of rectangular oval. Okay, so now, and the last thing left is the, okay, before that I'm gonna talk about padding. So you can see, just giving a tag, you can see the current attributes we have. So we have talk about stroke, size, corners, and solid, not the padding and gradient. So I'll talk about padding first. And it's my mistake because I can't really show you the power of padding from the preview panel. For showing that, you must have to go into the activity main. So okay, let's just make it a little bit faster so that I can show you the half mass time though. Okay, I hope, yes. And you should match parent, the wrap content. That's also good. So say wrap content, and match constant. And okay, there's nothing we can see, so that's why I need to drag it a little bit. Why? Okay. Fast is better, but it should be not that fast. I hope. Yes, now is looking good. Now the back and the top. Yeah, it looks better now. That's correct. So it's almost done. So I'll go for the constant layout, and I'll add a background just right in here, and I'll say, as you are understanding, this would be tested. And first of all, I'm gonna delete the padding from here, and I'll show you what is right now. And you can see it's looking much narrow, so I can add it's just for a good look. Okay, and now you can see the text is aligned in the just vertically center. But if we add the padding just right in here, right in the bottom, 20 dp, this was happen. You can see the text is going up. So this is really something really cool, because we can do something like that. But this is not that important. You can even use the minus padding. So this is really cool, because we can really shrink something like that. It can work like a mask also. So this is all about this thing, and now we'll go for the most important section right over there, the gradient. Okay, so first of all, I'll add the gradient tag, and You can see there are a lot of attributes right in here, but I'll talk about one by one all of them. So first of all, we know that a gradient has a start color. So I'll use the color example of the start color, and it does have a int color also. So I will use the Android color white as the int color. And when using uh, gradient, you don't need to use the solid. If you do, there's no problem with that, but that will cost more rendering time. So these are the default thing we know, that is present in the gradient. And then start color, int color, as all we know, there are certain type of gradient present right now, like radial, sweep, and linear. So we'll talk from the linear. And you can see, so this is a very cool gradient, um, starting from this accent color to the white, pink to white. So what if you want to rotate, just like the pink would be on the top and this white would be the bottom? So how can we do that? So this is a very good tag we can work with, like angle, right? Am I wrong? Yes, there's the angle. So if you write something like 4 5, there'll be nothing. So angle must be 0, 45, 90. So this is something can be multiplied by 45. Okay, so just write 45. So you can see white is on the top and this is on the bottom. So you can see, is that what you're looking for? No. This would be 90. No. So this should be 180. No. It should be 270. Yes, this is something we are looking for. We can even press the minus value also, so it does also work just same, but positive is always better. So, and now we can see the gradients looks more fancy with the 45. We can see from corner to corner. Okay, that looks very well. And this is something about the linear layout. So this is all we have present in the linear layout, and we can see there is some gradient with 3 color. So there will be center color also. There shall just create color primary. Okay, so you can see this is a combination of 3 color. That does look good. Sometimes not every time though. Let me just try to make it a little bit better. Okay, no, I was not looking something like that. Okay, so this would be white, so Android color white, and this there would be color primary. So it does look something like that. So I hope you understand how to work with the linear things. And this is all about the linear, but there is, if you want to, no, nothing else. This is all about the gradient. So there's another type, something like radial, but you can see when I'm pressing the radial, there is nothing showing. So what you can do, so for some purpose, I will just for showing the radial must have something like gradient radius. Okay, so without the gradient radius, this won't work. So you can see now I have the radial gradient, and you can change that as you want. So it's better to do with radial things. You'll understand much better this after some practice maybe. And just make it zoom it better from here. So now you can see the radius is just in the middle. So how we can change the position of the radial? So there is a way also how we can change the radius. So you can say center x, and there's a position from 0 to 1 only. Okay, so this is the mid position 0.5, and if I say 0, then it would be on the top. Center 1, 0, 5. Okay. Okay, so center y, point 1 f, but it was working. Believe me, it does work like that. I don't know why it's not working now, but it do works. 0.5. It does have some problem, I hope. No, it should be 0 to 1, so it should be 1 with the bottom. So it does work like that. And we have another thing like the radial. We have sweep. So you can see the sweep is something like that. So you can check that out. As more you work, this will be more looking. So there is something is called use level. If you use the true level is the color. That means there is no smooth fraction. There will be a sudden drop, otherwise this will be just same. So for example, if I just click the linear curve, this is a linear, so you can see there is nothing because linear does a smooth fraction, smooth changes, but there will be no smooth changes at all. So I hope this is all about the gradient section, and you should work with that. Now I will talk about something like oval. So for that I need a solid first of all. I need a color, so it's Android color white. Okay, so this is oval, and you can add the radius as you want for more smooth fraction. And we have the ring, like something like a ring, and ring does not, if you provide solid to the ring, this will not work. I hope this should work with the stroke. Just the width 2dp and the color accent. Okay, wait, 2dp. Right, 2dp. So this is something called ring, and then we have also the line, and you can see the ring was not working. So this is line, Why the so ring is something like that. Okay. So I hope this is all about shape. This is the primary section. So in the next video, I'll talk about more advanced feature and how we can really use them on your app, like creating some usable shape by using the shape tags or the shape things. So that's all for today. I'll see you on the next video.